My name is Joe Booth, and I drive this beautiful Mark III, which Chuck probably hates, behind me. It's a 1994 Golf. It's a dusty mauve, which makes it a rare color. Yes, my plate's my GTI, even though it's a Golf. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I still love it. I've owned this car for 6 years at this point. Prior to that, I had a black Mark III, which was a pretty weird one. It had 6 headlights on it, nicknamed lovingly the Spider Car. So I purchased this car. I crashed the black one, I want to say the very, very end of July, and with H2O back then still being a real thing, under a crunch, we pretty much swapped the interior. We put it on a mismatched set of suspension. I put a set of wheels on it and sent it to H2O that year. So it was pretty quick. I mean, a lot of the stuff was salvaged from the wrecked car, so I just was able to do a lot of the mods I'd already done before and just keep kind of going with it. What I find so appealing about the Mark III is it's not only the styling of it that I really love. I was always very much attracted to it. It's kind of a car that I wanted as soon as I could drive. I always really liked them. But I also really grown to love them because they're such a customizable car, but at the same time, they're very patient for it. You can learn, you can make mistakes, but the car's not gonna really, it's very forgiving on that level, as far as being able to be modified and made personalized. I've always kind of had an interest in cars, but the one that was really kind of got me into it was my best friend was really building his Jeep at the time. My dad's always had some really cool cars, but it was never kind of a thing between us. And then it's actually really become kind of a bonding point now that I'm way more into them than I was when I was growing up. My favorite part about the Volkswagen scene is the community. It's always about the people. At the end of the day, the cars are really just a talking point. It's what provides a commonality among people. But without the people building them, the cars are pretty much lifeless. It's the personality behind the person building it that really brings out their true character of the car. Beyond that, it's a factory-produced piece of crap. It's an econobox. It's not particularly exciting or interesting until somebody takes it and does what they see as their vision and makes it something unique. And when I say that the people really make it, it's even more true with my own personal build. The car behind me represents not just my own vision, but literally 100+ people that have been involved in small to major ways. I jokingly say that my car is a bit of a whore because so many people have been involved with it. So many people have literally been hands-on with it. Blood, sweat, tears, other bodily fluids are probably flowing through it at this point. It's really been a really amazing thing. And one of the moments where I really realized how much it is really about the people was my last trip to H2O, where my car spent the entire week from Sunday to Monday sitting on jack stands, and my friends were there to help me. Every day they were wrenching on the car, bringing beer, taking me up and down the strip to like go get food, or bringing parts actually down as they were coming down from all over the Eastern Seaboard. And it was just amazing just to have that community embracing me. Through social media, people were reaching out, oh, hey, if you need this tool, we're up the street and we'll bring it over. And it was just really a wonderful feeling because I didn't have my car. So H2O, which is so much about the cars, wasn't about the cars at all for me. It was about this wonderful community that was doing everything they could to try and help. It's really hard for me to nail down what my favorite part of my car is, because it's really the sum. It's not any one single part that's in it. It's the sum of everything, because it's all little details that make it all together for the cohesive idea behind it. I mean, as you're sitting here watching me, you're looking at the front of the car, and there's a whole bunch of little things that all make that front end, but they all work seamlessly together to create that image. And that's the thing I love about it, is where I look at it from point to point. I don't really actually look at like one thing. I'm not like, oh, I love my steering wheel, or I love my seats, or I love, my old supercharger when it used to work. I love the car as a whole. My favorite thing to do with the car is drive it, but some people would say my favorite thing to do with my car is tow it, because it spends a lot of time on the flatbed, but you gotta accept that that's what happens when you do modify your car. You can't expect it to always be reliable anymore.
What are some of the worst?
Some of the worst scenarios that have occurred, I've destroyed a camshaft in a half a mile. I've blown up a motor. I've grenaded a transmission. I've had multiple timing belts snap. They've all been pretty scary, because it's just, you're going along and it just happens. Hold on, what do you guys?
We're keeping count of how many things
It was
fucked up.
3 camshafts, number 1.
5 timing belts.
5 timing belts.
You
almost need
motors.
this. Josh, you got to keep this bit.
3 heads.
I stand corrected. The peanut gallery wants to keep me honest on this one. Because
2 complete heads.
And 1 head with just valves.
all right, enough. I get it. My car's a piece of crap, but I still love it.
Supercharger and VTEC.
Why I keep doing it is a tough question to answer. I sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, ask myself that exact same question, because I love it. It's an unexplainable feeling of just trying to create something. It's almost art when you're building it. Like, you're creating your vision in metal and plastic and leather, and it's fun. Frustrating, but it's really rewarding when it all works. When you do get there, even the crappy times seem worth it after actually, when you finally see it happen. Sometimes it actually makes it worth more when you've been through some shit to get there. The amount of people that I would love to thank in this video would be very lengthy, and I would be terrified that I would forget somebody, because so many people have been such a huge part of this car, and I don't want to do anyone a disservice by not recognizing the commitments that people have made and the time and effort that people have put into this car. So I want to thank everyone, whether you've physically been a part of the car to date or you may be in the future. Please tell me you got that.
There was something. Stop hitting shit. God damn it. You are fucking. God damn, you are a klutz. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. What? Lower it? Or. Oh, alright.
Grown-ups are talking. So, quick build on Joe Booth's H2O story is, on top of all the people that were down there actually helping him in the parking lot, my phone rang at least 5 or 6 times a day trying to figure out why the piece of shit wouldn't start. And after he finally dragged the thing back, I stayed in this garage with him until unholy o'clock in the morning, going through crank sensors, pinout tests, the wiring, everything I could find, trying to figure out why the pump would kick on, we'd get tack, and it would shut off. And eventually I said, this is insane, but maybe the trigger wheel's bent. and when we pulled the oil pan off and rolled the motor over by hand, his crank had walked so hard he smashed the trigger wheel against the number 4 main, and it was rolling around on the crankshaft like this. So when it went by, it would try to start and then hit the bend and shut off and then come by a straight part again. And to this day, I have never seen anything like it. I yanked the motor, threw the pieces away, and built him a new block.
Josh, you filming? Yep. Try again with it. I know you took a lot of effort in printing this. I just want to make sure you understand it's a fucking Frisbee to us.
Come on, that was a good dog.
I'm trying to like catch it like it's just landing in my hands. Hey! I didn't see you guys come in there. I was just reading my favorite magazine, Revival Motoring, issue number 4, on sale now.
We keep dancing with the devil, but he doesn't have a back.